Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you're new around here, welcome to Penno channel. And this is a match preview for Aston Villa versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. So we're going to take a look into a few details. How Aston Villa form's been going, how Wolverhampton Wanderers forms have been going, and then predictions for the games and lineups that we'll be expecting. So firstly, how Villa have been doing. Been doing really well under Emery. 3 wins out of 4 in the Premier League. Unfortunate defeat to Manchester United in the EFL Cup. But the performances have been great. The 3 wins we've had, they've been comfortable victories. Unlucky not to beat Liverpool at home, or at least get a point out of that game. So Villa are playing really well. Really structured side now. And that's all down to Unai Emery. 4 Premier League games he's had with us so far, and this will be his 5th. And like Wolverhampton, they also have a new manager like us. Julian Lopetugai, he's had 2 games so far at Wolves in the Premier League. He got a great victory away at Goodison Park, a 2-1 win. And then he had a narrow defeat at Molineux at the weekend against Manchester United, which Marcus Rashford scored in. So it's going to be an interesting game. We as Villa owe Wolves after last season, after that 3-2 defeat. That was probably the lowest feeling of a game I've felt at Villa Park since, I reckon, the Spurs 3-2 when Bjorn Engels missed the ball. Being 2-0 up, cruising, thinking we'd got all 3 points, and then just to capitulate with, 6 minutes to go. It was the worst result, and it was the end. It was the start of the demise for Dean Smith. I think it was close to calling it a day. A few games later, Dean Smith was gone. We've had Gerrard since then, and yeah, not much better. But now we have a new manager, new improved manager, and we've had some great results recently. So we're looking to carry that through to Wednesday's game and hopefully get the 3 points again and then make it 4 wins out of 5 in the Premier League. Wolves, on the other hand, as I stated, the 2 results they've had recently, they've looked a bit better against Everton. I didn't think it was much better, but you know, they took their chances when required. Everton was still in that game. They could have easily got a draw or been 2-1 to Everton. It was a very close game. Against Manchester United, Manchester United didn't perform well that first half. Wolves were on top, but they just slowly got into the game. And yeah, from there on in, they got the goal from Rashford. They could have got a second, which was disallowed. So I thought Man U, deserved the victory against Wolves at Molineux. And it'd be interesting to see, Unai Emery come up against Lopetegui again. Both being Sevilla managers. Lopetegui, he wasn't his predecessor, but he was after Unai Emery at Sevilla. Unai Emery's managed at Valencia, Villarreal as well. And you've got Lopetegui, who's managed at Real Madrid and also Sevilla. So they would have crossed paths. They'll know each other's tactics inside out, I should imagine. It's just how they implement their tactics for the 2 teams. Wolves will have more to go on because Villa have played more games, so they'll be able to identify a 4-4-2 system. Perhaps it'll be a bit of a difficult one to see how Wolves line up. The transition, sometimes it can be the 3-5-2, but they've been recently playing the 4-3-3. So it'd be interesting. They've been playing Hwang inside left, then Podence and Diego Costa up top, and then the midfield 3 of Matinho, Neves, Nunes as well in the middle. Bueno's come into the side. He looks a really good player, the left back. He's come into the side, but he could rotate with Aït-Nouri at left back. And then you've got wild cards coming in. Adama Traoré may come on. Even though it's not the same player, Raúl Jiménez may come into the team as well. So Wolves, I always see Wolves as having really good players, and it's whether they just turn up on the day and they have a coherent system. And I think Julian Lopetegui will be able to instill that. Whether he's had the time to do that so far is, I don't know. He was there prior to the World Cup, so he did have a bit of time to embed into there. But, you have internationals not being with the team. So we'll see. We'll see how they line up against Villa. For Villa, it's just more of the same. Now, it'd be interesting. Every team we've played against have been above us currently. So it'd be interesting to see how we line up against a team below us. Do we go for it more? I think we did do that against Liverpool. I was shocked to see how high our line was, because I've just watched the Brentford game, and as you've seen, if you just drop back a little bit, you can still catch Liverpool in behind. And I was surprised how we played so high. We literally matched them. It was symmetrical on the pitch with us and Liverpool with a high line. And I thought if we dropped a bit deeper and didn't allow Nunes and Salah to go in behind, could have really got a result from that game. So it'd be interesting to see how much Unai pushes us forward, or we're going to sit back and play in transition. The keys, factors, Bueno's been playing well, but getting at Bueno and Nelson Semedo will be important in this one. I hope Jacob Ramsey's fit, even if he's not, just at least at the bench, because he's a beautiful ball progressor and great in transition. So when you see Nelson Semedo and Bueno flying forward, we'd be looking to get in behind those areas. Centre-backs will be Collins and Kilman, I should imagine. Very good centre-back. I rate Collins and I rate Kilman. I think they're great players. Collins progressing with the ball and Kilman on the ball, they're really good players. So yeah, it'd be hard to get a mistake out of them at the back with Ollie pressing on them and Leon Bailey if they both start. But should be looking to really attack them on their fullbacks, especially Nelson Semedo. I think he can be got at. Well, if it's going to be Emery Buendia on that side and Lucas Digne, it's not real pace if that's the case. So I don't know if Emery might change it, if he might go Ings Watkins, you know, put Bailey on the left or on the right and just get him at the wing backs. It'd be interesting to see, or if he just keeps it the same, dependent on how severe McGinn's hamstring injury is. And also, you know, what states Douglas Luiz in if someone else comes into the middle. I think they're the only two injury concerns from the game is McGinn and Luiz. They're the ones that went off with injuries. And it'd be interesting, what would he do if Luiz Kane comes out? Is it Dendonk, or, you know, is it Chambers in there, which he did? Or is it Sanson, someone who doesn't get a game? But I can't see it being Sanson, to be honest. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. If Ramsey's fit and McGinn's injured, does Buendia just go on to the right? Or does, you know, Ramsey come on the left, Bailey go on the right, and then Danny Ings come into it? I don't know. It would be interesting. It would be really interesting to see what happens. So yeah, it's going to be a difficult game, I think, just because it's a local rivalry. It's not local derby, but it's a rivalry. It's our closest rivals in the Premier League. And, you know, atmosphere really needs to be up for it for Villa fans this midweek. I don't think the atmosphere has been great at Villa Park this season. And now we have justification to may have a good atmosphere because performances have been coming in from Emery. So there's no reason not to support the team. Start getting on players' backs and just show support, you know, give them morale on the pitch, sing throughout the 90 minutes. We have to show that now as fans. There's no point in the team stepping up and us as fans not stepping up. So it's imperative we create a really good atmosphere on Wednesday and intimidate Wolves. And that hopefully will put us on the front foot. If we can get an early goal, I think we can win this one comfortably. It's just about, you know, showing initiative and really putting it on Wolves because, you know, they're not in a great league position and they might show signs of fragility, which they have shown throughout this season if we get the early goal. So, yeah, my score prediction, I'm going to go 2-1 Villa. Hopefully we can get the 3 points. As I said, I think it's going to be a tough game still. But, yeah, hopefully we can get the 3 points and get a 2-1 result. I know Wolves are struggling to score goals. They have been all season. You've got a Diego Costa up top. Raul Jimenez just hasn't been the same player, which is unfortunate, to be honest, because he was a great striker. He's not been the same player since injury. Hwang, he does contribute, but not as much as you would have thought when he came from Salzburg. And then, you know, players like Podence, they could pop up with the odd goal, but they've been really struggling to score. It's not as much creating, it's just scoring. They haven't been able to score. And it was more creation in the final third. They do well to progress the ball, like for 65% of the pitch. It's just the final third. They really do struggle in. So, yeah, it'd be interesting if we can break that free of Moutinho, Neves and Nunes. That will really be required. Breaking up that free because it's a formidable midfield. If it's on song, you know, it's a hard midfield to play against. And it will just rely on Douglas Luiz and Boubacar Kamara, if Douglas is fit, stepping up again, doing exactly what they did against Spurs and just controlling and dominating that midfield and breaking through them. So, yeah, I feel like Wolves will put the initiative on us to play. They'll let us have the ball and it will be down to us to break them down. And if they do come forward, we need to catch them on transition, especially against their wing-backs, and that's the keys to winning this game. Yeah, so it's going to be a really, really interesting game. It'd be incredible if we get the win. the fixtures, they do look easy on paper, but as I said, it's against teams below us now. We have to take the initiative in games, which is something we might not have expected in the previous games, although we did do against Manchester United for sure, and even Brighton to an extent. Once they scored the early goal, we did take the initiative after that. So yeah, really looking forward to it. Just hope Villa bag the 3 points. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and how you think the game will go. What do you think Villa need to do to beat Wolves? And what threat do you think Wolves will pose us? You know, another player who I haven't mentioned it, Adama Traore. He's just so unpredictable. You don't know what Adama Traore is going to turn up. And former Villa, who you just know he's going to have a good game if he does get on the pitch. It's just how it goes usually when former players come to their old clubs. So yeah, just a nice video talking about the game. I'll also be doing a max reaction after the game. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you like the video, if you could like, share and subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Continue bringing out the content. Going to continue trying to grow. And yeah, you'll be hearing more from me in the future. So up the Villa. Hopefully you can get the 3 points and go to 4 wins out of 5 in the Premier League under Emery. Cheers.